Hi, Janelle here again, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take your black walnut tincture that you have made and strain it and bottle it and save it for later. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to go over the materials that you'll need. You'll need a crock of some sort for the strained liquid to go into. I do not like to use metal or plastic just because it is not a high vibrant energy material. I want to use something like wood or ceramic. I have a strainer, which my strainer is plastic, and I don't have a wood, glass, or ceramic strainer. That would be something to get, but I am going to use this as a strainer and just kind of pass it through quickly. You'll need two different size funnels, a larger one and a more smaller one for a small tincture bottle. You will need a large amber or dark colored glass bottle to put your tincture into. You will also need some tape and a marker for labeling, and I recommend gloves. I may or may not use them. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to get started. I have my black walnut tincture that has been sitting for 10 days, and everyone always asks me, how long should it sit? It varies. It really does vary. 2 weeks is the standard amount of time to let your tincture sit, but it really depends on the conditions of your situation. If you have a sunny windowsill or a warm house, cool house, if you're getting sunlight or not getting sunlight. So for me, in my intuitive sense and what I know from how long I've been doing this, I feel like this is ready to strain. But sometimes I let tinctures sit for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I rarely do it under a week, and I have some infused oils that have been sitting with the herb for a month, and I haven't strained them yet. So let's get started with this. I'm going to put my strainer here, fits right on top of my crock. And then I'm going to take my tincture and I'm just going to pour it in through the strainer, into the strainer. Now, black walnuts are different than other herbs I've worked with because they are very hard and you can't really squeeze them out. Typically, when I do strain a tincture, I'm working with something like, let's say, leaf or stem or flower, and you can really squeeze it, and I use cheesecloth to really get all of the juice out. But the hulls, like even if I squeeze this, and I was going to try here, so with my gloves, I'm squeezing a little bit. Honestly, I'm not really getting anything to come out of the hull. And I wasn't sure because in the past, I usually just forget the squeezing step. But I'm going to shake off the extra liquid. Just you want to get all the liquid you can. And if it squeezes, great. Okay, so I am going to set this aside, and then I'm going to hold this up. Whoopsie. All right, I'm trying to hold this up. I think I will have to move my camera versus me holding that up. I just lost some of my tincture. So let's do that. There. This black soup. This black, beautiful black walnut tincture. So what I want to do now is bottle this into another bottle. So I have my bottle, and I put my funnel that fits right on top, and I'm going to just use my lid here. And if you have like a measuring cup, which is something I didn't bring to the table here, and I should have. So if you have a nice measuring cup, which would preferably be of another material besides plastic, if at all possible. I don't like to use, like I said, metal or plastic, but it's hard to get everything in natural materials, but the more you can use naturally, the better. So I'm just gonna fill this up. Okay, so I want to make sure I have enough for a small bottle. I'm going to set that aside. And then I have my smaller bottle, which this is something I'm going to be using right away. And I'm going to set it on my medicine shelf. So I'm just going to put the smaller funnel in there, and I'm going to, this will only take a few pours and it's full. You don't want to go all the way to the tippy top because you will have overflow, which I just did. It's a little too high. So you want to leave it down below the neck of the bottle, because when you put in the dropper, it will raise in level. So then I'm just drying that off. And then your last step will be for labeling. So what I'm going to write here then is information that was on my jar from when I made the tincture. So I'm going to write, this was green black walnut. I made it on 9/1, and then so I'm going to put that date, and then I'm also going to put today's date and the year, and I used 50% alcohol, 50% water. So I'm going to do 50-50 water, alcohol. And then that's it. Then I'm going to take this and put it on my bottle. I like to use the blue painter's tape versus masking tape because it peels off more easily. It'll stick on, but it'll also peel off, where masking tape can kind of get really stuck. So there we go. Now this bottle is reused. It was from another tincture, and I do save my bottles and I steam them in boiling water, or I put them through the dishwasher a few times. So if you have brand new bottles, you can use brand new bottles, and I always use brand new for friends and family. But for myself, sometimes I just reuse a bottle. So that is straining your tinctures. And if you're still here, I want to ask you to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and if you have any comments on your use with black walnut tincture, put them down below, and thanks for coming.